I'm Grady, and the company is Blackthorne International Transport, and we operate IT logistics services throughout the world on a global basis. I think we found it a little bit quiet the past couple of days. We thought there'd be more people, but there's a lot of exhibitors and visitors in the software environment, whereas we're kind of more into the hardware side of things, but there is still some potential business for us here. Networking companies, telecommunication companies, any IT company that wants to roll out infrastructure in other territories around the world. Say for instance, a networking company needs to put a network around 70 different countries, but they don't have their own legal entity to import the products into those countries. This is where we come in and act as the legal entity and the importer, and then deliver it to each site that the installation is going to take place. So we take the responsibility of importing the products. The unique features that we offer would be our deep understanding of the networking products, encryption. A lot of the network products, the routers are encrypted, so you have to comply with a lot of export regulations around the world, and also import regulations must be adhered to. So we offer an end-to-end solution which encompasses exporter of records, export compliance, export licensing, the logistics to get it to the actual site, wherever that site is in the world, and then the import permits, import licensing, and then customs clearance and deliver it to the site. So a lot of the time in the international movement of products is with administration of customs processes and compliance process. The actual movement is very quick. The actual movement of the product is super fast compared to the administration behind it. So we take care of the whole thing and make it as smooth as possible for each network provider. We're probably not, we're not unique. There are competitors, but there's no competitors doing the entire chain that we do. There's competitors in different segments of the chain, but we do it end to end, and we also offer training as well in export compliance and export licensing. No other of our competitors is doing this. Our staff are trained in the US and in the UK. Both on US export regulations, US import regulations, and in Europe as well. And we also have staff trained in Singapore as well. This is staff that actually travel across, maybe based in the UK, but they'll travel to Singapore for their training, or the US for their training. So they get an all-round knowledge of all the world's regulations. So when you pick up the phone to us, you're actually picking up the phone to an expert who will answer the phone, not be passed through a system and have a call back. You'll actually be able to speak to someone who will know what they're talking about. Yeah, I mean, Luxembourg is quite in its infancy when it comes to export compliance, to be honest with you. The regulations are all very, very new here because they have to comply with European regulations now. And there's been a bit of a delay in Luxembourg picking up on these, because up till maybe just a few years ago, Luxembourg was operating under laws that came about in the 1960s. So the laws weren't fit for purpose. But now the European Union are making the laws uniform around the European Union. Just needs Luxembourg to keep up to date on that side of things. But because the export licensing is all about threats to your own country, and Luxembourg kind of shares common risks and threats as the rest of the European Union. That's why there can be these uniform rules across the European Union. But each country, like the UK, maybe has more threats possibly than Luxembourg or Portugal, for example. So the UK can add on to these European regulations, or any country can add on, but you just can't take away. You've got a basic infrastructure, and then you can add on to this. So this is what we understand, and we know where these add-ons are and what the extra measures are that you have to comply with. No, absolutely not. No, I used to come here every Christmas Eve a few years ago. I'd go up to the Hilton on the hill, enjoy my Christmas Eve there, and sometimes I'd stop here on the way to Switzerland or something. But I'd always make sure Luxembourg was my overnight stop when coming to Europe. So, no, I've been here many times. Yeah, it's a lovely country. Google can find us, no problem at all. It's very easy to connect with people. There's no excuse for not finding us. We're on every Google platform you can find, so there would be no issues with connecting.